Welcome, Internet, to another educated discussion. I'm Elmo.
And I'm Felipe.
And this time we're live from Elmo's house.
Oh,
not
snap.
yours like normally. And we're here to discuss the newest consoles, Gen 9, I believe Microsoft is referring to it as.
Oh boy, I didn't.
The PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X.
Yeah, it's a fun week. We're here. This is the launch week. This is when we're recording it. Who knows when we'll actually be posted? But both the Series X and PS5 are actually out in the wild, and people are talking about it.
And you work retail.
Yes, I do.
Is that coming up a lot?
It is getting old.
Okay.
How many times people ask me, "Can I buy it? Do you guys have any left? Or are you guys gonna have any left?" No, all online. Yeah.
So first, you wanted to do a little PSA before we jump into this.
Yes, pretty much before we get into what we're going to talk about, which is, of course, the next gen. We just want to mention, as you can probably tell by the views that we have.
Whoa.
What?
That PlayStation All-Stars,
It's doing okay.
like 100 times the other ones.
Yeah. We're not big yet. We're not influencers at the moment. We're not rich by any means. So as of recording, we actually don't have these consoles.
Mm-hmm. Wait, are you saying that one dude that said that for the Smash one that we're a bunch of like fakers that we were paid off or whatever?
That
Are you saying he's
sense.
wrong or she?
They're definitely wrong.
Okay.
Yeah, no, we're just kind of getting to do these whenever we have the free time to. We both work full-time jobs. We're both fathers. You know, it's a little difficult to meet
Newer
up.
fathers as well.
Yeah, exactly. So some new challenges we have to face. But anyways, this discussion that we're going to have, when I think of our podcast title, The Educated Discussions, it's more of a sarcastic route. That's why it's in quotes, if you look at the logo.
See, when we were coming up with this name, I interpreted that as, hey, it's like an educated guess. Like, we know some pieces of info.
Right.
We don't know it all. It's educated.
Yeah.
It's not masterful.
Right.
Now, when we get big, could be masterful discussions.
Yeah,
I will. I never thought of that.
Just start a whole new channel. So anyways, we're going to be taking all the information that we're getting from other outlets and putting it together and just, striking a conversation and explaining how we feel about this this gen that just came out.
And just to go back real quick with the educated part, I feel like I'm a little less versed in the knowledge about these new consoles, just because I've been trying to keep up, but there's just so much.
There's a lot of info,
and hopefully you can correct me.
Yeah, I know a decent amount,
and
I hope. Well, we'll see.
And if our audience hears anything that's just blatantly wrong, like, hey, let me know.
Yeah, of course.
But be cool about it.
You can be part of this discussion with us.
You can be educated.
Help us get educated, please.
Oh yeah.
Okay, well, pretty much, Xbox is out, PlayStation is out, the new ones. Mm-hmm. Why are we excited for them?
You've got a list here.
Oh, I do.
You have a list. I feel like, personally, I'm a little more cynical about these.
Surprise.
But I mean, I guess it doesn't matter because I'm gonna get them both anyway.
You're gonna get them both.
They both will be in my home at some point.
Okay.
Before probably 2022.
It's a long time.
I don't know. 2020 is almost over.
That's true. Thank God.
So I think with the positives here, you should start us off.
Okay. The big thing that everyone's talking about that I'm really excited, especially now that there's comparison videos out and everything, is that loading. That fast loading, especially now, because I went back and started going through my backlog, and I'm playing a game called Rise of the Tomb Raider. And boy, is the loading in that game terrible. So I am looking forward to less of that because I just end up going to my phone, and then turns out Lara Croft's just there, hair blowing in the wind, and I'm on Twitter just looking at news and stuff. Mm-hmm. So I would like to have that skip and just focus and get to the games quicker.
And I got you Shadow.
I know, which is why I'm trying to
hurry it up.
I know.
Raid them tombs.
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to get through it so I can get to what I heard is a better gameplay experience in the newest one. So.
I like the one you're on now better.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, great.
But I also, from a narrative perspective.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Gameplay wise, they tightened it up.
Okay, good. What do you think about the loading? Is that something you're...
I want to hold off because I almost can go in a negative direction with that. And I think after the positive, I will get into my thoughts my critical thoughts on that. However, no loading, that sounds great.
Yeah.
Because there's plenty, I'm playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey now, and I am not sailing everywhere. I am fast traveling. Yeah. I'm someone who doesn't like doing that, but for this game I will. And the amount of times that, like you said, I'm on my phone.
Yeah.
Because it's just loading for a while, and the game takes forever to start.
Mm-hmm.
Like just with the loading, and which it's a big game, a lot going on.
Yeah.
But I will save time for Cassandra, so I can play as her. But a lack of loading sounds phenomenal.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I'm curious to see how you would see that as a negative, but we'll get into that later, I guess. The more obvious one, that graphics bump. I'm a big graphics guy. I sent you that video of Final Fantasy VII, that CG rendered scene. Everything was looking crisp.
Dude, I'll tell you what. I think that I had said this to you on Snapchat, but I was playing on 720p, 32-inch when I played that game.
You poor soul.
And you sent me that video, and it's also because your camera is pretty freaking great.
That pixel, man.
Yeah. And I was like, dang, this looks so good. Why does this look... I don't remember it looking this good. And it's PS4. Yeah. So, for me to have that, awe of, whoa. And I just got a 55-inch or whatever recently.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I'm...
4K,
55-inch. 4K, yeah. Yeah. And of the games that utilize that 4K, I'm definitely man, this looks good. Even Odyssey, I'm like...
Oh, yeah.
Man, this... Cassandra looks cool.
Yeah, she look cool.
Everyone else kind of
looks the outfit, same. But... You get the outfit that shows off her abs. It's a good outfit.
I have not seen her abs yet. I'll have to change that armor. They gave me some Ezio armor or something. I've been using that.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't keep the hood up or whatever.
Yeah, same here. I'll take it off.
Yeah. But I feel like this is the one this soft piece of software is selling me the most on these next consoles on the next gen. Mm-hmm. But Final Fantasy 16, that trailer they put out, and I remember even they said this is not on the this is not on the hardware.
Yeah, it was shown on PC running equivalent specs of PS5.
But I was like, I want to play this. That was the one of the few times that I was like, why isn't this now? I want this now.
I actually it would look good.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't as impressed with that as you were, which I was surprised. But the one that's doing that for me on next gen is Demon Souls. That game looks gorgeous. As an avid Souls player,
you've never played Demon Souls though.
No, I never played Souls
somehow I've played Demon Souls, and you haven't. But you played Dark Souls and all that.
I'm thinking it might be content one day. We'll see. Me playing through the PS3 version and then PS5. We'll see. Might be.
Do you have the PS3 version?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It was free on Plus once a billion years
ago. I got it on GameFly, and I was like, I think
that's not a good GameFly game.
No, that is not. Especially because it was at the beginning of that game's cycle, and people didn't know what they were doing yet.
Right.
And I didn't know.
I wasn't ready to... I was too afraid of it. I heard how difficult it was, and I was just a baby. But then once Dark Souls came out, that's when I got into it hard, and I love those games. So I'm excited to try it out. Mm-hmm. The one that started it all.
Mm-hmm. And Miles Morales looks phenomenal.
Oh, of course. That ray tracing. Come on. And puddles. Yeah, boy. The next thing that looks neat to me, and this is strictly on PlayStation side, is that DualSense controller. Not only does it look sexy.
I disagree with that. I don't think it looks... I want a new color.
Oh, really?
I don't like that
love the white.
all.
It reminds me of Detroit Become Human. And I love
everyone's favorite franchise.
I love the aesthetic of that franchise. The game is... I liked it, actually, but not as good as it could have been. Anyways, I hear great things about that DualSense. And how it feels, and everyone's just initial reactions, just that little startup with all the bricks building up, and you see all the rumbles take into effect, or it starts up.
I don't even know what you're referring to.
Oh, really?
No.
Oh, okay. There's a lot of good videos of it. Okay. People are recording themselves trying out that Astro's Playroom. Is that what it's called?
I've seen some of that. Yeah.
Okay. They're trying it out for the first time, and as the controller kicks on, everyone's face lights up and just reacts in a different way, and it's just very, very interesting.
Is it like that Dead Space 2 or 3 trailer where all the old women are shocked? Is it
That is a throwback reference. Okay. I know what you're talking about. I can't think of the old women reacting, but I do remember seeing that.
But would you say that's the equivalent here, but in a more festive tone?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, not as scary.
What I've seen of Astro looks really cool.
Yep.
However, I've heard nothing but positive about that experience people have when controlling Astro's Playroom.
Oh, of course.
Like I was reading about how people keep asking, hey, you got the Astro's Playroom like at Walmart or whatever, and it's like, doesn't it come with the?
It's
installed.
It's like
back in. So
that's great.
It's stuck out enough that people are talking about it. That
Astro's becoming big, man. That VR game, although VR is kind of limited, is considered like, I think, probably one of the best on that platform, and then it's even considered, strangely enough, one of the best platformers ever. By a lot of people are saying that. You know, that's what
Mr.
I hear.
Duh has a bone to pick with that one, but
sure. But that's
I've heard good.
Yeah, I'm excited for that.
And I mean, I would say when it comes to the systems, like the consoles here, that is what has me probably most excited of what you've mentioned. I don't have like the eye for graphical quality. Like people say for 60 frames and 30 frames. And
right.
I kind of can see it, but only when it's pointed out. I just don't have that critical eye yet.
Right.
Again, I'm new to 4K.
Yeah, you just got that.
I had a 32-inch 720p. So I'm not my eye's not caught on yet. Okay. Watch me go backwards, and I'm like,
oh, I'm sure.
Like I always tell you about how my wife, like, she would be like, HD is dumb. Why would you even pay more for that? What's the point?
Right.
And then she got used to it and didn't know she was watching HD, and we went back to SD, and she's like, why does this look so muddy? Like your eyes are used to.
That's 480p, honey.
So like my eye's not there, but the controller for the PS4 has me most excited.
Seems like it's the most advancement that I've seen when it comes to the consoles.
Like I want to get my hands on that. Too bad COVID's around and I can't, go to like a Best Buy or Walmart.
Well, no store's gonna have it. Apparently,
I want to try it. Can you just buy one? I'll come over.
Sure.
Okay.
Maybe we'll see. Piggybacking off of that fast loading, I am actually really interested in the integrated apps. So on the PS4, they used to have that little separate, pretty much an app within apps, or the apps were within one app. So you'd have the little area that says like player or whatever it was, or what was it?
Apps? I don't even know what you're talking about.
On the PS4, there was like a little icon on the menu. Mm-hmm. You'd click that, and then it opens up all your apps.
Okay.
So it was like an extra step.
TV and video?
Yeah, that's what it was.
Okay, yeah. I know what you're talking about now.
Yeah, it's just an extra step to get to it. And then from there, you have to scroll down and find it. And if you didn't have it on your apps, you have to hit the little icon on the right, and it opens up even more. And you have to search for the app that you wanted. Now, all the apps are just easily accessible right there on the menu. And fast. Because of the SSD drive that's in there, everything is just loading quickly. The PlayStation Store is not an app that you click. Once you get to that section on the menu, you're already in the store, and you can start searching that way. And it just looks like it's going to solve a lot of headaches. So that's one thing I'm excited about.
Okay. I don't use the multimedia options on my PS4 very much.
Okay.
Just because it's in that, I'm playing games over there in that room. Mm-hmm. There's an Xbox One to your right now that I'm sure you're trying very hard not to look at. Because you hate Microsoft.
But, no, I don't hate Microsoft.
But
they're just not as good. But.
This is where our media gets played. This is where we're watching Attack on Titan or another episode of The Office while we can.
Okay. But you're watching off the Xbox.
Yeah.
So then you do use the features.
I'm not familiar with the PlayStation one.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
I will say, and I think this goes towards the negative, so I'm going to wait on it. So maybe I should put a note down.
Okay.
But there's something that PlayStation kind of does that I wish they did. That Xbox seems to do.
On the new ones?
On the new ones and the current ones.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay.
So we'll save that. But there are... You said there was no Hulu on one of them or something? What did you say?
Well, that's going to be in the negative section.
Is Nintendo Switch?
Nintendo Switch don't even have Netflix. So.
I know. I love my Switch, but come on.
Yeah, I know. I guess before we continue, was there anything else to really... those are the main points. Mm-hmm. Obviously, there's little things you can really dig in there. We can get into what games we're excited if you like, but when it comes to the actual features of the console, those are the most I'm looking forward to.
I think we could go into games for a little bit.
Okay.
But when it comes to like some features that I'm excited for, like again, that controller, that's what I'm most looking forward to. Also, just there is something nice about that clean slate. Like, oh man, it's just a new system.
Yeah.
Even though I don't know where I'd put the PlayStation 4 right now, a PlayStation 5 right now, because it's so thick.
Right. Yeah, it's a thick boy.
But
boy.
But one feature, we'll call it, that I'm super looking forward to. Other than loading or the graphical bump.
Okay.
I would like to see what they can do with the AI. If maybe that's not the right way to phrase it, but what they can start doing with that additional power in there. Like, I'm still waiting for that. I don't know if you're familiar with it. The Lords of Shadow. Is that what, no, it's Castlevania. The Shadow of
Nemesis
Mordor
system.
Yeah.
Never played it. I know it just came out on Plus. I believe.
Did. It's for this month.
I had it to the library. No, I never played it. I heard it was. Everyone always brings it up though. How great that system was.
I thought that's what this generation would be like. People doing that and just copying it, and I was really looking forward to seeing how it would get expanded upon.
Okay.
And no one did. And apparently, it was like incredibly difficult to develop and everything. So I don't.
I mean, apparently, they nailed it, and they were able to do it. And the game, it's not like you see a massive hindrance to the game because of that feature. I mean, the game looked good. It was. I heard the story.
Troy Baker was talking.
Troy Baker always nailed it.
I never played the sequel. There was just so much drama behind it because it added microtransactions.
Oh yeah.
That they eventually took out.
Isn't that how you get like the ending or something?
Yeah, it was.
That was the sequel.
Yeah.
What was it? What was that one called?
Shadow of War.
Oh, okay. Wait, is that the one that's free then?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure.
Does that one have that Nemesis system though?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah. Okay. And they patched it. Like they did like a pretty good job at like fixing up some of the problems there. I don't think it's completely fixed, but I think they even took out the microtransactions.
Gotcha.
So it's cool, but that system, I want to see what new ideas come from this. So I don't know if AI is the right term.
No, that makes sense.
But what they're going to do with that processing power.
Yeah, new gameplay systems pretty much in vein of that, which in this case would be AI and have it be like remembering your battles. I assume. Right. I'm not too familiar with it, but that's what I understand.
Like imagine Ghost of Tsushima 2. Rise of Sakai.
Oh, spoilers.
Mark of Sakai, I'll call it that. Imagine that with like there's multiple like different Ronin guys and like they remember your former battles and everything.
Okay, I guess I don't want to get too into detail here, but the Nemesis system, if you kill the person, these still are going to be alive later, or it's only if you lose to them they'll remember you.
It was mostly if you lost to them.
Oh, okay.
However, I could be wrong here, but I do feel like I recall times where like, oh, they weren't really dead. You thought they were dead, and they have like a bandaged arm or something.
Because I'm about to say, in Ghost, when you kill somebody, you kill somebody.
I don't know. I slashed at people a lot before they died in those duels. But just you could throw like even like a what game came out recently? This is not the right example, but like a Saints Row or something, where there's different gang leaders. I think that's what Crackdown was trying to do. Anyway, just that.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I don't want to just turn. This is going to be 20 minutes of talking about that system. It's a really cool system, and you should try Shadow of War just so you could see it in play.
Gotcha.
Because a system with even more power behind it, in theory, can make that even cooler.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm sure you're familiar with the methods that the new faster loading is going to eliminate, like those sequences, especially in Final Fantasy, because I was playing that recently, Final Fantasy VII Remake. There'd be sequences where, all right, Cloud has to crawl through this tunnel. They're going to get rid of that because that was disguising the loading. So, and there's a lot of that in that game. So imagine getting rid of all that and then having all that extra space and different designs to focus on other things. Because imagine you trying to build this level and then you're held back by the hardware. You know, especially with the loading, you have to load a whole new area of the map.
Are you saying you didn't like that one, like your Cloud's hotel room door that was like a PS1 door? That they never fixed it, right?
That looks so
they
terrible.
Never fixed it.
I can't believe it.
I was like shocked. And
remove the texture from like his cabinet and put it on the door because you're by that door a lot. At least in the beginning, not anymore.
But... A lot, but yeah, every time I go, there's
so bad.
There's that PS1 doorknob.
The buttons on his jacket like more detailed than the door. Whatever. Anyways, yeah, I know what you mean, and I think that we will get that in the future.
That's a very positive outlook.
Mm-hmm.
That I wonder if we will see come to pass.
Now let's take it to your neck of the woods. Words. Why aren't we excited?
Let's talk about this loading that you
already
claim to be this godsend, as if Poseidon himself came down from Mount Olympus.
He came down from
Mount Olympus. But
right.
I will wash you of all loading.
I didn't know the ocean led up to Mount Olympus, but okay.
He can do it.
Sure.
He ain't like that D-bag Zeus.
Yeah, he is.
There's some messed up Zeus stories in Greek mythology. Anyway, I'm not going to get into that now. No. We'd have to put an explicit tag.
Yep.
Anyway, something that is minor, I'll bring up first.
Okay.
Loading tooltips can be pretty useful.
Wait, what?
Like the little little tips that come out at the bottom. Like, I didn't know I could do that. Goodness. I wish I could think of an example. Here's one actually that came up recently, even though it wasn't a tool, like it didn't help me do anything. There were quite a few times in Ghost of Tsushima.
Okay.
I was trying to shoot a deer. And I was like, why is this working? And like it didn't work. I only did it like 2 or 3 times. Because I took some breaks in between. Mm-hmm. And then eventually there was a tooltip and it was like during loading, even though there's not much loading in that game.
Nope.
Which is...
I was surprised.
It would always surprise me. I'd be like, I don't want to fast travel. It's going to load. And every time...
like 4 seconds.
Yeah.
Like, next gen's here.
But there was something, it was like, the Japanese consider deer sacred and would not hunt them.
Mm.
And I was like, you know what? I'm going to forget all about Jin Sakai's journey and everything. But I'm guaranteeing you right now, I will remember that weird detail about the deer in Japanese culture. And I really appreciate that. And if not for loading, I wouldn't have known that. And like, I can't think of anything off the top of my head right now, but there's got to have been times for both of us where...
I mean, Dark Souls...
Okay.
There's way too many items in Dark Souls.
Mm-hmm.
And in between the loading in Dark Souls, they have item description, just random ones.
Mm-hmm.
And every now and then one catches my eye. I'm like, oh, I don't have that item. What does that do? Mm-hmm. And then it kind of, vaguely describes what it does. Because that's Dark Souls. But it gives me an idea. So it is nice.
Mm-hmm.
I would get rid of that in an instant to make it go quicker. And again, back to what I was saying earlier, this gives developers an opportunity to give us this information in different ways. That isn't just a static image.
Sure, you can make it more contextual.
Yeah.
But you remember in Budokai, those little stupid loading mini games?
That ruined my thumbsticks. Because I'd be swirling them around and around and around just to see these ghosts shoot out of tanks.
And I always thought, like, oh man, if I just do it right, I'll get a secret character or something.
Yeah, I always thought that. No.
And nothing.
Like, I filled the whole screen with Cybermen. Nothing happened.
I think Namco Bandai, I think it was them at the time, like, they had a patent on loading screen games like that. So that's stupid.
It was.
And I don't think they have it anymore, so I don't know why people aren't doing it. But I'll tell you what, I remember exactly what you're talking about with these stupid little Gotenks ghosts. and there were some other ones as well. And there's just something fun about just that new information that I feel like you could try to contextualize it more. But they already tried, and it didn't...
Because they were held back. That's what I'm saying.
But the loading is what held them back?
Yes.
Okay. I just think...
No, the hardware itself. Okay. The loading had something to do with it.
But the more powerful games become, the more they're using that power, and I feel like... and this is getting a little more critical with the loading. Do you think by the end of the PS5's life cycle, that loading comes back?
I can definitely... see certain games that are really pushing it. I don't think every single game is going to push it, but imagine just for a second what Naughty Dog does with PS5. Mm-hmm. You've seen Last of Us
I'm already impressed with
That's what I'm saying.
Load at the beginning, even though apparently Last of Us remastered, it went from like a 80-second load at the beginning to a fraction of it.
That's what I'm saying.
But that's on PS4.
Exactly. So imagine what Naughty Dog can do.
They'll make 2 games this generation.
I would hope so. I hope more. Especially now that they can... Apparently, it's a little easier to develop for on the PS5.
I mean, developers, take care of yourselves first Publishers, take care of your developers. We don't want whatever's going on with Cyberpunk.
They almost done. Whatever. They're getting paid pretty well,
sure.
from what I understand.
I've heard some stories.
Yeah, I hear mixed. It's a mixed bag.
Like it's not maybe not so healthy of a work culture. But
anyways, I think that towards the end of it, there will be a few exceptions with there is a decent amount of loading, but even then, I still don't think it would be anywhere near as much as the previous generation, even at the end. Because, you compare games on, early console launches to towards the end, and it's like night and day sometimes. But as you saw before they updated that Last of Us, that loading for Last of Us remastered on PS4 was not too far off from where Last of Us Part 2 was until they went back and optimized it. So, I don't know.
How about this? Maybe this is where your education can come in to play here. Are the third-party games right now, are they featuring no loading?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, reduced.
Okay. So, we're still going to have loading. Like, this dream of no loading
well,
is
no,
false.
I mean, that's not correct. There's no, like, non-existent loading yet. I mean, that's...
I've heard Miles Morales is, like, great.
Well, yeah, it's like, what is it, like 16 seconds? From...
Well, I just mean, even when you're fast traveling in between? Like,
well, yeah, I was going to bring up, since you were bringing up Odyssey earlier, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, the newest one they just came out, on the new consoles, there is a fade out from when you fast travel, and then it fades back in, and you're there. That's pretty fast compared to what we've seen. And,
yeah. I was playing Odyssey today. So.
Right. So, sure, it's not instant, but a fade out is 2 seconds? A fade in is 2 seconds? Like, that's nothing compared.
But that's also...
It's not going to be like to the days of a cartridge. I mean, there's still, but we're getting close.
Isn't that what they're selling?
They're not saying no loading times.
Okay.
I mean, I'm sure someone is, but they're saying it false. But it just, the SSD is going to be super fast games. And it is, So, I don't see how that's a negative. But,
I just see, I felt like that was what was pushed as a selling point. And I'm just thinking, there's going to be some unoptimized Square Enix game or something. And it's going to be them.
Sure.
I already know it's going to be them. I don't know if it'll be Final Fantasy, but they're going to pull this off where loading's going to come back.
Like I said, it just depends on who's behind
First
the wheel.
party games, I think, will do great.
Mm-hmm.
But the non-first party is going to dip down. And is the Xbox not stronger?
It is.
Power-wise?
Mm-hmm.
So are we going to see third party...
Them flops, man.
Are we going to see third parties be stronger on the Xbox then?
Yes, there was a couple things. There was a test recently that Digital Foundry did between Devil May Cry Remastered or whatever, the next gen version of them on PS5 and then on the Xbox Series X. And they were very, very close, but there was a couple times where the Xbox held their frame rates a little bit better than the PS5 version.
And I'm not good at noticing that. So.
Oh, of course not. Because they themselves said it's unless you're really, really, really looking for it, you're not going to see it.
And it just depends where developers go,
right,
culturally in a weird way.
But then, for example, I think Kind of Funny's own Greg Miller, he posted a comparison video of Marvel's Avengers loading. And again, this is the old gen version, PS4 and Xbox One version. Of them loading on both the PS5 and the Xbox Series X. And it was, I think, a decent amount faster on the Series X. Again, using no hardware, we'll see once they optimize it for the X and for the 5, but right now, running old tech, Series X got PS5 by maybe 10
I think I maybe
10
saw
seconds.
this video, actually. Did they have, was it 4 in a corner?
Something like that, yeah.
Okay, I may have actually seen this. But to not get negative for a second. I did see Giant Bomb do Ghost of Tsushima. They just did here's all these older games on the new hardware. I'm not good at noticing frame rate, but that Ghost of Tsushima, it looked like they just rolled butter on everything. It was man, this is smooth. Yeah, this looks nice.
I will say this to go back to the frame rate thing, because I also have a hard time noticing it. When I got Last of Us 1 remastered, they had that option for the 60 frames per second or the better graphics for the 30. And I tried it, and I just couldn't tell.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the game's also not very fast. You know, Joel was a pretty stiff character.
Mm-hmm.
But I hear that it's extremely noticeable in Miles Morales and in Remastered.
Now, to be fair, neither of us have a PlayStation Pro.
I have a Pro.
Oh, you do?
Yes.
Oh.
Come on, man.
I didn't know this. I think I've asked you this recently.
Yeah.
You have the Pro?
I have the PlayStation Pro.
When did you get that?
A long time ago.
No,
when
you
I got
didn't.
the...
You're lying to me.
Back when I had the apartment.
I mean, you're... No.
Yep.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Because I got it when I first got my 4K TV. I was like... Because I was going to buy just the 4K TV, and I was like, you know what? Screw it.
I didn't know you had
For the
a
lack
Pro.
of a better term.
I mean,
your
your TV is just better, and your whole
Of
setup
course.
is just better and everything, so... Okay.
Anyways.
I don't have a Pro, so this jump up to my eventual console purchases... And I'm going to get negative here, like, throughout this.
We're in the negative section,
but
even though...
I'm going to buy both of these.
Right.
And this is heavily PlayStation focused, but judging by our views, we should probably focus mostly on PlayStation anyway.
I guess, but I'm going to bring up a couple of things that the Xbox is doing right.
In the negative section, huh?
No.
I'm just joking. But there is definitely some... Just to tie it back to what we were talking about, I'm worried the loading will come back. I feel like it's been promised.
It will come back. Just not as bad.
And that almost annoys me. But it's not that big of a deal. We're dealing with it now.
It sounds like it. You've been on this for a while.
I don't know, because I feel like that was what was promised. And
We'll
I sound really like selfish when I say it like that.
I heard that it's one of those things that you can't appreciate it until it's in your hands and you've experienced it yourself.
The lack of loading?
Exactly.
Okay.
Or the reduced loading in this case.
It'd be cool, for sure. I would like to, have everything move faster. I got so many games to play. You can save me some time?
Yeah, it's in the negative section.
Let's go. But
all right. Anyways,
my tooltips, man. I don't know why, but that Japanese deer.
That's good. I also tried killing the deer. It didn't work. And then I realized I'm like, he wouldn't kill these animals, or at least
one of those boar.
Well, they're attacking you. The deers ain't attacking.
I've never got attacked by a boar.
Really?
In that whole game.
Oh, dang, you suck.
I would get near them and they'd run away.
Doesn't make any sense.
I never had a boar come at me.
Oh, okay.
I had...
In the beginning they did it, and then they just did it at the end. Maybe it depends on your rank.
I had some dogs. I killed quite a few dogs.
Oh, yeah.
In that game.
Dogs. Anyways.
So, more negatives. I mean,
okay, I
think
think
these negatives are going to be nitpicky, though, because it's new hardware. It's going to be better.
Sure, but we got to keep in mind, though, again, as we stated in the beginning, this stuff isn't just handed to us. We're not in a financially extravagant place right now, which brings me to my negative, which is the price on these things. I feel like overall it's a good value for what you're getting from what I understand. However, it's still $500 extra that we need to cash out for either one of these consoles. Yeah. And like you said, you're getting both. Guess what? That's $1,000.
Yeah.
And again, that's just for the consoles. So bringing me to my next negative, at least on the PlayStation side, for the majority of things, $70 price point. They bumped it up, the extra 10.
Mm-hmm.
I know Xbox has got that incredible deal going with their GamePass, which is great, especially for their first party stuff, which all will be included in there. So you don't have to worry about the $70 price point. And now that they bought out Bethesda, I mean, that's a good chunk of games coming out in the future that are most likely going to be included in their GamePass. It is a monthly fee, and depending on which version you get, it could get expensive if you're not gaming that often. But you can't deny that's a deal.
I currently have my Game Pass. It ran out.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just trying to get through a little bit of my backlog.
Sure.
And I'm planning on going back.
Oh, of course.
It's going to happen.
I mean, if it was available on PlayStation, I'd be all on it. But unfortunately, with my console choice, I now have to consider $70 games.
I mean, I will too, because I will get a PlayStation. Final Fantasy 16 is coming out on Sony platforms first.
Right.
Final Fantasy 7 Remake.
Also.
Part 2, it's probably going to have the same deal.
Yeah.
So, it's going to happen.
Okay. Well,
it is a lot, but how much were we expecting it to be?
I'm not saying we're expecting it to be.
No, I know what you're saying.
I was expecting it to be 500, and I was on the money.
Mm-hmm.
It's still 500 that I just really probably shouldn't be spending at the moment,
Right.
which is why, at least as of right now, that as it's tempting as it is, I'm probably gonna have to hold off on it just for a little bit, at least for a few months.
Honestly, if it wasn't for you, I'd probably get the discless version.
Oh yeah,
It's so nice, and there's other reasons why I won't. And that's where I'm gonna get to the negative.
sure.
But right now, I've been focusing. I have too many discs, man,
Mm.
and my wife's getting mad if I try to throw anything else in the garage, and I've been stalling on that. Even though she's got all that, she's got like tables and chairs and all this other nonsense we don't need in there.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm ready for the all digital future, even though internet is in America is not where it needs to be.
Of course,
but
I feel like it isn't that bad, at least where we're at.
Where we're at now.
No.
I know some other areas it sucks, but I'm ready for it, and I'd be totally fine with no more discs. I totally understand the whole like ownership over your purchases.
Yep.
Like concept. It's just I don't have space, and we're gonna have another kid eventually. It's gonna happen. I have no choice in that matter. So space matters.
I am starting to do a thing where I'm picking and choosing which ones I'm getting digitally. For example, I got Tony Hawk digitally.
Same here.
Because I'm like, I'm probably not going to let anyone borrow this game. And I know you were probably going to get it eventually also. And it's just one, for a game like Tony Hawk, that's just something you can just jump in real quick and do a couple, what are they called, sessions or whatever, and then jump out. And I don't need to be getting up to change the disc. However, I do love my collector's editions. I do love having something, the steel books. God, they look so cool sometimes. And it's a way to show off my geek or nerd pride or whatever and let that flag fly. And unfortunately that it does include getting the disc. But with the discs, I mean, what did we just do? How did you play Ghost of Tsushima? I let you borrow it, and you let me borrow Final Fantasy. We can't do that digitally.
No.
And if you get that discless version, if I give you the disc, you can't do nothing with it. I mean, you can frisbee
that
it.
That thing is so big,
I'll be upset.
Somewhere.
Anyways, so that's with the new price though, and this is a more problem on the PlayStation side. New accessories. You now have to. I'm pretty sure the DualSense isn't like $75 or something.
Probably.
Yeah, man, it's a lot. That's something even more to consider, because you can still use the DualShocks on the PS5, however, only for PS4 games or the PS4 version of the games. And on the Xbox side, they're doing it right. You know, props to or kudos or whatever to Xbox, because you can still use the normal controllers that you have and still use them on the Series X.
DualSense seems to be 70, by the way.
70? Okay.
I mean,
still a lot.
Taxel.
Because the PS4 controllers at their most were 65. But if you can usually find it, like the normal black one for like 55 or something. So it's a decent bump. But yeah, that's another price point to consider.
You want to mention, I guess this can go under accessories. And this is where I actually want to get negative. For a step in this direction with power and everything and how freaking fat the PlayStation 5 is.
Yeah.
What is the storage?
Oh yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's something I've kind of gotten used to just working especially at a retail store. Like you buy a hard drive and it says 2 terabytes, but when you actually open it up, it ain't 2 terabytes.
No, there's like 650 gigs of usable space.
Yeah.
And like and I believe there's a feature where you can choose what to download and delete off of games.
Yeah,
Call of Duty is over 200 gigs.
I thought it was 150 or something.
No, I'm not playing Call of Duty very often.
But there's almost everyone else on Earth is, though.
And I have it on record. Over 200 gigs.
Wow.
So that's a significant... And again, you can... I don't know if it's available yet, but you can choose what to...
I think you're thinking of the full game. I'm thinking of Warzone, which is like 100-something. That's the only one I ever had.
That's still a lot. That's a ton. And
it is.
Sony does not seem to be... For whatever reason, I'm sure there's some technical problem there.
Yeah.
But you can't just buy an external hard drive and...
Nope.
Do your business.
Yeah, they want the performance to stay the same with the hard drive that you get. And unfortunately, there is no hard drive that can perform as good as Sony's SSD right now. Mm-hmm. Or, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's right. That has the similar functions and performance. They're like innovated or something on that thing. And they said that, I mean, we're the first to it right now. Other people are working on it. We can confirm back in that Mark Cerny ridiculously technological explanation thing earlier this year. They were like, "There's other people working on it, but it ain't gonna be out for a while, and at launch, we're really not gonna have anything for you." So the fact that people are surprised is kind of interesting to me.
Dude, I tried to watch it. I got bored and did not. I did not watch it.
I sat through it.
We were pretty starved for info
at that point, I was like, about freaking time. But anyways, so it's gonna come out eventually. I know that. I mean, the hotness right now, like you said, Call of Duty. That's a fourth of your hard drive already, right? Did I do that math right? It's 200.
It's over.
Yeah, no, it's a third. Yeah, because it's only 600 something gigs and it's 200. That's crazy.
Yeah, it is. And again, that's Call of Duty, and maybe that's an optimization issue with their software. But regardless, that stat exists.
Yeah, and most games nowadays, or at least like the big ones, like what Final Fantasy was 100 gigs. I think Last of Us is pretty decent.
Actually. I saw it recently. Like I thought Final Fantasy was like 80 gigs.
Oh, maybe.
And Last of Us was like barely under it. That's still a lot.
Yeah.
And I definitely play way more games than you, so this is more of a problem for me.
Right.
But, like, it's nice to just have... I've really enjoyed this digital library I've built now. Mm-hmm. And it sucks that, like, I hate having to, like, play Tetris with my freaking storage. And I have a 2 terabyte, so I know it's my problem for having too much. I need to get back to that Dragon Age Inquisition DLC I've been waiting for.
That's not going to happen.
Play for, like, 5 years. And that's a problem that I should fix, but I thought this would be I didn't think this would be a problem as we progressed. I thought new, better. Like, I got Last of Us 2 digitally. Okay. And it's nice to just, I don't have to get up. Yeah. And I used to, like, think that was dumb. But there is something satisfying. It's just all there. It's just there.
No, I agree.
On my Switch library, I own too many Switch games. Mm-hmm. I own 2 carts.
2 what?
For the Switch. I own the Ring Fitness, and I own Super Mario Odyssey. Every other Nintendo Switch game I have is digital. Smash.
2 cartridges.
Yes.
Sorry. Gotcha.
I have Smash, Luigi's Mansion, Fire Emblem,
all digitally.
All those indie games on there, and it's nice. So especially on the Switch, because every time I get a Nintendo cart, I want to lick that nonsense and hate myself. Yeah. I love that. That's the thing that they did. Yeah. Anyway, and made more people lick them.
I know.
People want to lick that.
I licked it and I was like, oh, I see.
Yeah, it's bad. But I thought progression would lead to less problems, not more. Okay. And that issue matters to me because it's going to limit what I buy, and I like buying, and maybe that's a problem, and I need to fix my problem. But I like buying games. I like supporting my hobby. Right. Well, now I am limited. I feel like I'm limited.
Now, about these games, one thing I don't like about this transition between old gen to current gen.
Are you going to move on this list?
Yeah,
I'm moving. I have one more complaint about the accessories.
Oh, go ahead.
Sony is notorious for this, for just dropping their crap after they got what they thought was useful out of it. Like, they cut Vita support far too soon. Right. They cut PSP support far too soon. Definitely not as bad, but like they didn't push it. There's a reason that there was such a gap between that and the Vita, and they're not doing anything later. Mm-hmm. And I can understand maybe why they cut it, but like that, you got to allocate your funds. Like Vita became like an indie machine. Yeah. Which is cool. It's that
proprietary
for them,
hardware. Screw them over.
Like they said, hey, we'll give you an Uncharted, and we're out. Uncharted. We'll give you Gravity Rush.
Yeah, Gravity Rush is good.
Did you see their recent comment about the VR?
No, what was it?
It was, and I'm summarizing, but we 100% stand behind our PlayStation 5 hardware, and especially with what we were able to do with the PlayStation 4's VR. Now, we don't think it'll happen this year. And it won't happen next year.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I'm like, what? What?
Yeah. They're pretty much just telling you, like, hey, the console just came out. Mm-hmm. We're not going to launch a VR system right now. And then...
It works on there. But to not have like a plan for support still?
I thought it was referencing launching another next-gen version of VR.
I thought it was
because the support's already there.
but they're gonna not do what other support? What VR Sony games are coming out? They had Iron Man and that Star Wars one, which seemed like a delay.
I mean, Game Awards is a month away.
I guess we'll see. But that quote gave me the impression there's not going to be any VR.
I mean, do either of us have VR?
I do.
You have the PlayStation VR?
Yeah. You didn't know this?
Yeah, right.
No, I will show you it.
Nah.
Don't go in that room. My daughter made it a huge mess.
Okay.
I didn't get it it's not like you and the PS Pro.
Okay. We both learned something today.
I got it. It was like late 2019. There was like a glitch online. Okay. And I got it for like a really good price.
What was the price?
I forget, but I remember it was less than half of what it was.
Jeez.
The MSRP was at the time.
That's a good deal.
And it came with like the Move controllers and
the whole bundle.
Some console.
The eye and everything?
It came with Skyrim. And
sure,
it's
of
still
course
in the
it did.
Plastic. So, and I played the Astros VR room. Is that what it's called? It's really cool.
That's what I hear.
I want to see more.
We'll see.
My what was it? I was supposed to for my bachelor party or whatever it was the equivalent of. I was gonna go with you and our friend to see like at a Best Buy. It was like a VR demo.
What?
Remember you went with him to see a VR demo.
Oh, Brad?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, we're saying his name on there? Okay, whatever.
That's
it's
his
a pretty
last
common name. Brad Mephisto. I don't know. Anyway, but so you went with Brad. I was supposed to go, but some stupid nonsense happened with my wife's friend.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
So I don't know if you've touched a VR since then.
Nope. Well, there was one other demo at my location.
Well, I have it. I barely use it. I forget to charge this
holding out on you, boy.
I barely touched it.
I did. Let me test it.
Resident Evil 7.
Yeah.
I played just the first half hour.
You're a brave soul, man.
I did. I know. My wife was in the room with me. I was like, I'm not doing this. I'm like, you have to be in the room while I'm in the middle of this. And I couldn't tell if I was sweating because I had this headset on.
Yeah. Or if it's just your nervous.
It was probably both. But I wish they can. Okay. Oh, I guess we'll wait for the Game Awards. But I interpreted their quote as, Iron Man was great, wasn't it?
Okay, yeah. I mean, we'll see. I don't think that we interpreted that differently. I don't think that's confirmation. I feel like that would have been bigger news if it really was. I'm sure other outlets interpreted it that way, but it hasn't been big enough news to really be news yet.
Yeah. Okay.
So I wouldn't lose hope just yet.
All right. I mean, I don't own many VR games, but it would be cool to continue.
Okay.
I want to get that Star Wars one eventually.
Squadrons.
Yeah. I want to be in the X-Wing.
Yeah, sure.
Put me in there.
That's my least favorite part of Star Wars.
I mean, they made their Darth Vader thing too.
Oh, I heard that one was interesting.
Yeah. I want to breathe on people with a red stick. Anyway, you were continuing on our list here.
Well, I was trying to make this one brief, but I guess not anymore. Oh boy. Pretty much what I was trying to say earlier was that I feel like games, more specifically on the Xbox side, and some on the PlayStation side, especially now with Miles and Horizon and potentially God of War, I feel like they're going to be held back a little bit because they're still trying to make them work for the previous consoles. Now, I know that theory can be, I guess, debunked due to how they make games for PC. That would technically work on multiple layers.
I was ready to debate you, but you just...
Right. No, and then I was ready, but I feel like I don't know. I feel like that is still going to be a problem. And I think, again, mostly on the Xbox side. Because, like...
Did you know Halo got delayed?
I did know. Yeah, I did see
crazy.
That. Yeah.
I still think about that. I'm like, man, that's insane.
It's sad. But anyways, I don't know. I guess I don't have too much to say on that as to why I think that. But there's just a feeling I get. Like, I see the Miles stuff, and then I mean, specifically with that Halo stuff. Specifically with that Halo demo. That did not look good, man. I mean, and I'm sure that's the reason why they delayed it, even if that's not what they said.
They don't even have a release date.
That is definitely the reason why they delayed it. It's because that was being held back by the Xbox One.
I mean, I'm looking at a display that's not as nice as yours, so
It
I
doesn't
didn't
matter.
really notice anything.
You're still finally in the 4K. You don't even.
No,
need
I
to
was
have...
watching on this TV. This
really?
TV's not 4K.
Oh. Okay.
And I definitely was.
Well, I know a place
like,
you can get a better
fine.
TV. Okay.
I just got one.
I know.
I'm not getting another new one.
But anyways,
I got two. No, in the bedroom too. There's an HD TV, and she keeps playing The Office or Food Network nonsense while I'm trying to
Food
sleep.
Fighters.
She's playing freaking like Worst Cooks in America or whatever. The Oscar from The Office is in an episode or two. Anyway, I can't sleep anymore.
Okay.
And I'm afraid to tell her, like, listen, you gotta stop. Wait till I fall asleep. Anyway.
Okay.
I don't need another new TV. But back on topic.
What I'm saying is, specifically for that demo, you didn't need to. You need to have a TV to see that. It's just that the polygons weren't right. It's just, I don't know. Like the lighting was off. I don't know. Something was just wrong, and that's why they delayed it. And I feel like it's because of the Xbox One. And I feel like that's gonna. I feel like as great as Miles looks, how much you wanna bet that Spider-Man 2, when that eventually comes out, is gonna be significantly better than Miles. Why? Because it won't be on PS4.
I don't know. I keep looking at things and I'm like, oh man, this is as good as it's gonna look.
It looks great.
I'm gonna keep making it look better.
But I'm just saying that's one of my negatives. Is a lot of these games are still gonna come out on old hardware.
As someone who's not gonna have that new hardware for some time, selfishly, it's okay.
Okay. Do you have any other negatives? I have one more, but I don't know if you have any.
Continue with yours, because I think I did, but it might correlate with what you're about to say.
The last thing I've noticed that's a big bummer, and I guess not as much of a problem for you, but when it comes to the apps that are on the consoles, like I know we discussed earlier that you don't use it too much, like just your Xbox specifically. I don't want to have to switch between having a 4K player and a PS4 when it comes to playing my stuff, or a PS5, sorry. But that's what I have now. I have a 4K player. The PS5 as of right now does not have Dolby Vision. Dolby Vision is the best version of HDR that you can get at the moment. The most true to what the director intended or whatever. It is like the standard, like that you should be hitting. It's like the Marvel, right? PS5 doesn't have that. Xbox doesn't have that. Now, Xbox has it for the integrated apps that they have built in, as long as the apps support it. So the apps that do come included with the Series X, I forgot which one specifically. I believe it's most of them, which is the one thing they're doing right. Whereas the PS5, they're like shortchanging a lot of the apps. Like they don't have Hulu. Like they don't have HBO Max. Like they don't have a long list of the ones that they should have.
Does Xbox have them?
I believe they have the same exact apps that they had previous. Okay. Same thing. But now none of them have really talked about Dolby Vision for the disc. You know, because I like watching my 4K discs. That is the truest way to get true 4K at the best quality besides streaming them. Streaming them looks great, you know, of course, in 4K, but I have this nice TV. I want to use it to the best that I can. I want to, you know, take advantage of it. And as of right now, there's nothing's being said on either side. And I know we're probably eventually going to get it, but that's what I'm not looking forward to. Is just the slow rollout of apps and features that honestly probably just should have been there at launch. I know there's probably deals in place, which is why they can't have Hulu and certain apps that aren't on there, but who cares? Pay money. Get that deal fixed. Like, that should be there. That should just be already on there. Like how Xbox did it, for the most part, with the exception of the Dolby Vision. They nailed it. That's the way it should be done. And PS5 be slacking on that front.
You would think Sony would.
You would think.
Figured that out.
Because the 4K player I got is a Sony 4K player. Because it's one of the better ones to get on a Sony TV, which is one of the better ones to get.
Sony. More like so not.
No.
I know. I thought it would work.
No. No. I don't
Sony.
think so.
We're like so put.
Okay.
I thought my...
Thanks for joining us, guys.
I thought my piece would flow a little better.
Okay.
But it has to deal with not so much the apps, but the UI. I was looking forward to seeing a new UI, but it seems like both of these consoles just said, hey, what if we took the PS4 and Xbox and just made it a little shinier and just threw that.
Some sparkles in there?
Yeah, I was like, what? Like, the Xbox literally just adds, like, a sparkle in the background. And I'm like, I was looking forward to, some sprucing up, but it just looks like the same. And I was looking forward to that. And that's not a huge deal at all.
No, because I think, at least on the PlayStation side, I mean, that's already a good system.
Oh, no, I disagree. And that's just where I was going to go.
Oh, boy.
I am a huge fan of what the Xbox does with its UI.
You're insane.
It's
no one likes that.
It's slow. It runs slow.
Oh, maybe that's why no one likes it.
It's so customizable.
Okay.
Like, I can add, first of all, pins is a simple feature that Sony should have. I don't know if they did.
Is it like folders?
Like, you could just like you can press. I press start. Like, I'm in the middle of like watching. We were watching Attack on Titan last night. Press the home button, click to the right, and I have all my apps that I can quickly switch to. Right there, and it's great because it's seamless, and you can customize what goes where. You can customize, like, even like the backgrounds. Like, there's dynamic themes and everything on PlayStation, but like, what's really cool is whenever you get
not on PS5.
Whenever you get not a trophy, you get achievements. A lot of the times it'll come with art, and you can put that as your background on the Xbox. I've had this. I've switched to like so much Tomb Raider art on my Xbox over the last like 5 years.
Okay, and I wasn't aware. I heard that the Xbox is full of advertisements and it's a mess. That's what I've been hearing.
There's definitely those advertisements there, but Sony has it as well. But
I haven't heard it as big as complaint.
I think it's because you just dial past it.
Right.
Like, when I turn on my PS4, there's Call of Duty Square there. I don't got Call of Duty.
I don't have a Call of Duty Square.
I have Call of Duty Square.
Oh.
I did at one point.
Probably because you have an Xbox in the house and the network picks up.
But, like, I can move pieces around. And it really, as someone who uses a Droid user, I'm surprised that that's not more of a factor for you, because I think your phone is so much better than mine because of its customization options.
It is.
And I would say Sony's like the Apple here, where it's just, hey, this is like, it's rigid, but it works. The Xbox
that's a good analogy.
Maybe a little more frantic with what they've got going, but I so prefer, like, if my wife said, hey, bring out the PS4, we'll watch something, I'm like, no, we got the Xbox. And maybe that's not the best comparison, but like, I would not switch the consoles in the room. Okay. I would not swap them because as a multimedia machine, the Xbox is better.
Does it look like the new UI on the new one looks like it still has those options?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
In fact, it seems that, from what I can tell, it seems to have gone further in that direction.
So then that's a positive, right?
Yeah, but
because you said you love it already.
But Sony seems to not. I thought we would learn that. And again, like, the PS3 didn't have trophies at the beginning.
Right.
I don't think PS4 even had rest mode at the beginning.
No, it did not.
So obviously there's some growing pains. Yeah. Maybe they'll figure it out.
That's one of my negatives. Just a lot of features that I feel like should already be here, and we're going to have to wait a while for them. Like how Xbox has that killer app feature right now with that quick resume. Mm-hmm. PlayStation don't got that. And technically,
I never trust that quick resume. I never trust it.
Wait,
with the games?
I mean, you don't have it yet, so.
No, but there's something similar with the Xbox One.
Between 3 or 4 games?
No,
even
if
you turn it off?
No.
Oh, okay.
But there's times where I'm like, I'll go back to a game and I'm like, oh, this is still here? Dang it. Like, I don't even rely on it ever. Oh, okay. And like, I'm sometimes
I didn't know there was a version of that on current consoles. That's neat. Well, whatever they've done on the new ones, they seem like they perfected it because no one has any complaints on it, and for the most part, most of the titles have that built in. And like I said, like technically the PS5 is supposed to be is technically the faster SSD. Okay. The fact that they don't have that is just astounding to me, and I bet you they'll get to it. But it's like that should just be here already.
There's a lot of why aren't they doing this? Mm-hmm. And when I think of that customization on my Xbox, I would love for my PlayStation to have that, and it doesn't. And this was their time to do it, and they didn't. And here's a really small nitpick. I really wish the achievements and trophy system would combine in a way that, let me explain. On the PlayStation, you know how I am about looking at trophies.
I know.
I would sit there and stare at those, like, oh,
I don't get it.
I got 3 more % in this fool. Anyway, But
you get so mad when I beat you on something. Like, hey, what the hell?
I want to win.
Yeah.
But I like looking at it, and it says I like that it has like the picture. It takes a screenshot. Even though whenever I look at those, I'm like, man, that's a bad screenshot.
Well, yeah, because it comes up like. Because the game also has like its own version of you achieve something. So like mission complete.
Yeah.
And then ding, and then it's just like, well, you see the mission complete covering whatever you just
or
did.
Or like you're in the middle of moving the camera.
Yeah.
So it's got like the blur on it. It looks just garbage.
Yeah. You saw what they're doing on the new ones though?
No.
They fixed that. Well, I mean, they helped it. Like they record a small video now of you getting it.
Great! Can't wait to delete those to save some space.
Well, you can. It's an option, I believe.
I hear there's some cool options, but there's some cool options.
And then the same deal with the screenshot that it takes. It's like stylized. It's like custom.
Okay.
So it's not just a screen grab. It is like there's like lettering on it, like, hey, you achieved this trophy on this day with whatever.
I like those screen. That wasn't my complaint. I like the screen grabs. I kind of like the messiness.
Oh,
I don't. Like, I don't know. There's something weird about. I'm like, oh man, I was moving the camera. I don't know. That's just me being a nerd. Okay. What I was really getting to was on the PlayStation. It says how many people have gotten this trophy, like a percentage.
Right. I do like that.
On the Xbox, I don't think it does that, or at least it didn't when I last paid attention to it, because it's kind of buried in there, and with the Xbox. But they do like you're 7. Instead of showing a percentage of people who've gotten it, they show what's your percentage of getting that achievement. So, like in Ghost of Tsushima, I don't know. I just said,
if you're doing the fox dens,
you get 20. Get all the fox dens. And I don't know how many are left, but on the Xbox, if it was there, it'd be like, you're 82% complete.
They have that on the PS5 now.
Okay, did that? Thank God. Because I was like, what?
It tells you percentage how close you are to getting them.
And does it tell me how many people got it?
I would assume so.
I want both of those stats.
I don't have the PS5.
Get it. I want both of those stats, and I'm a.
But I have to be responsible.
Yeah. I do like, is going to positive. Apparently, it tracks your gameplay time.
Yeah.
I want to know how long I spent in Ghost of Tsushima.
Well, you can.
If you get a PS5.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But it's not like you have to replay it on the PS5.
Well, but they clearly have that data. Just show me.
I know.
I kept going to those options because I just wanted to. I'm a stats nerd like that sometimes.
Yeah, you like Super Smash Brothers. Like those are the best stats. Like always.
Oh my god, I go to that too often.
You go to that voice track too often. Yeah. Okay.
No, I don't care.
Anyway,
Buster Wild. I love Terry in Smash. Anyway, those are some minor nitpicks.
Okay,
but I was really hoping they would blend that and intelligently. That just seemed like a no-brainer.
It sounds like they're getting there.
It seems like they've done it. I don't know if Xbox does.
We'll see once we actually get it.
I don't think I need to ask, but which one are you buying?
Getting that Nintendo Switch Pro, boy.
I wish. I would do that too. Dang it, that's something that's going to happen too.
It is. It will.
Oh, that's even more money.
XL, maybe. Anyways, to stay on topic. PS5 is, of course, what I'm getting. Mm-hmm. That is what I've been sticking with this whole time. However, this is the most enticed I've been ever to purchase an Xbox. Maybe not the Series X, but that Series S. For its price point and the fact that you can still get GamePass on it and it still has the faster loading and everything, why not? I feel like that's a pretty inviting feature that I would definitely consider more than ever.
It's cheaper.
It's definitely
cheaper. Is there a disc drive in there?
No, that's the thing. But if I were to get it, it would mostly just be for the GamePass stuff.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
In that case, I'll catch up on all the Halos I missed, all the Gears I missed. Apparently, Life is Strange is on there now, so I'll probably be catching up on some third parties.
What's that new one called? I only know it because it's like an NSYNC song or something. Tell me why.
Tell me why. Yeah. Yeah, so stuff like I would use it for a lot of just whatever's on Game Pass, and now they have Bethesda stuff. Who knows? I mean, I don't want to spend $70 on Bethesda games because I never really liked them that much. But if it's on Game Pass, I'll give it a shot. You never know. But yes, definitely PS5 is what I'm getting. What are you getting?
I feel like...
First.
Here's the smart move. I don't know if it'll happen just yet.
I know what the smart move is, but I want to hear.
The smart move is, if I had to get one first, get an Xbox first. Game Pass.
That is the wrong...
The Game Pass library is there to support that purchase.
The thing is, you have that Game Pass library right there. I'm pointing at his Xbox, by the way. Why would you get a Series X to play the same exact games? There's nothing exclusive on the Xbox Series X right now. There will be in the
I'm
future.
not getting them yet, but eventually that will no longer be the case.
They said for what they say, 2 years?
Is that fiscal years or is that full rotations of a calendar?
I don't know. They didn't specify, but fiscal year or not.
I mean, I said around 2022, the beginning of that, I'll get one. So I'll get one before the beginning of 2022. And by then you would think some pieces would be announced. And I would think, get an Xbox, start seeing the power that these systems have.
Okay.
I'll be honest, this thing, sometimes I'm afraid it's going to blow up or something. I don't know. I think it's because Trolls World Tour, a DVD is in there. Not even a Blu-ray. It's a DVD.
Okay.
And every time I turn on Netflix, every single time, I could probably show you. I probably would do it too, right on command. Not the one time I need it. But
right.
At some point, I think I would like to personally just upgrade it because I like having what's new and fancy. But also, I want to see what this power is capable of. And without having to, get... Xbox's storage seems to be an easier hurdle to jump over.
Yeah, $200.
Yeah. And...
Sure, that's easy.
I mean, compared to Sony here. But also, I have that library there. I can take advantage of that power. Wait on the PlayStation, because you're going to get all the exclusives for the most part anyway. And then I don't need to spend $70. Get a PlayStation later and then just borrow it from you. And by then I'll have both, and I won't need to spend as much in the long run because you're gonna let me.
Just get the short end.
You're gonna get Miles Morales.
Of course.
I'm gonna borrow it, like I did Spider-Man.
Okay.
And Ghosts and.
I let you borrow Spider-Man.
Yeah. Oh. And God of War.
I'm a good friend, man.
You're A-. You didn't let me borrow Last of Us.
You had it.
I know. So the smart move for me, I think, is take advantage of your generosity.
I guess so, and that's definitely a good point. But let's keep it. Just forget that I would do that.
Okay.
Right? I will, of course, because I'm nice. But let's pretend I wasn't going to do that. Would you still choose the Xbox?
I think I would.
Here's why I think that's a stupid idea.
Okay.
All right. Like I said. All right, never mind. I guess you further explained it that it would, you won't be worried about it blowing up. So the Xbox got you on that.
I don't think it'll blow up, but
I know what you mean.
Turning on Netflix is scary sometimes.
The same with my PS4 Pro. My Pro still sounds terrible. Again, besides that, there will be nothing else new for you to do, and you don't even have the TV to fully take advantage of it out here.
Oh, the Xbox, that would go in that room. In the other room.
Oh, well, I thought you said you wanted it for the multimedia stuff.
That's my excuse when my wife asks me, but eventually... But I also have an Xbox One S that I could just swap out.
Okay.
I have another Xbox in that room, too. And I would just I would retire this one. The smaller white one would come out here. And then I would have that one there. And the Xbox seems way better about syncing everything between consoles. So everything I had, like my games, like I know for PlayStation you have to like sync it to the cloud and everything, but like
for the saves,
yeah, I can just play. I was playing Indivisible, I think that's what it's called. Is it?
Yeah,
what's the girl? Anyway, so I was playing that in that room. Then my wife asked me to take care of the baby while she went to work. I came into this room, turned it on, it was right where I left off. It was seamless. I didn't have to do anything extra. So in terms of that, this Xbox gets retired. The One S, the names are gonna comes out here. Xbox goes in there, and I can play everything anyway.
Okay.
However, that was me being smart angle. Really, what it comes down to is the software. Is Fable coming out or is Final Fantasy coming out first
for the Xbox?
Yeah.
But who knows when Fable comes out? It would in
they
theory
revealed...
it would be Fable because there's no Final Fantasy on it. I didn't reveal 16 on it yet, right?
What?
Which Final Fantasy are you talking about?
Final Fantasy 16. They already showed the trailer. Like they look pretty far along.
And that's going to be first on PlayStation.
So do I get if Fable comes out? I'm going to want an Xbox. Final Fantasy comes out first. I want to want a PlayStation.
First.
Square Enix has not gotten my trust with their
They've gotten better.
scheduling. Dude, I waited for Kingdom Hearts 3 to disappoint me for a very long time.
And you got it.
I got it. They took care of me good with their nonsense. I had to watch Let It Go. Anyway. Gorge. Oh, and I like Goofy and Donald, so they're not even a complaint there. So, anyway, that's another podcast. My Kingdom Hearts 3. Send the word feet, F-E-A-T, if you want a Kingdom Hearts rant cast on the comments.
Oh my gosh. Alright.
However, if Final Fantasy comes out first, I'm probably going to get a PlayStation. It's just about the software. Whatever comes out that interests me first.
So, realistically, you don't think you're going to get one of these new consoles until maybe well into next year?
I mean, they seem to be supporting the old generation anyway.
Okay.
And that's what you said was a negative, is that it's holding them back.
Right.
I'm going to take advantage.
Not every single. I mean, again, one of the games I'm more excited for is Demon's Souls. That's PS5 exclusive.
I'm not going to play that. Just
what you think?
I'm weirdly excited. No.
It could be
so
true.
I need games I can pause. If I can't pause we've run into a problem. I was just trying to play Fortnite, and then my wife was calling me into the room to help with the dog. He had a situation, and I'm like, I might win. I might get a victory here. And I'm like, all right, let me hide in a bush and go help out. But it took longer, and then by the time I went back, I was dead for a while. And I'm like, I need a game I can pause.
Mm.
And if I was back in the day, like where I used to stay up super late and everything,
good old days.
That's not my life anymore.
Yeah.
Would I play it? Sure. Would I commit to beating it? I don't think so.
Okay.
But I respect the heck out of those games.
Well, that was just an example of what I was saying.
Yeah, I went for a while on Dark Souls.
The exclusive one.
Demon's Souls. Again, it's that software. And if
I was thinking,
one of those comes out,
if I were to get one, if everything goes well, I was thinking maybe by March at the absolute latest.
March of what?
Of this coming March.
Really? What are you going to play?
Miles and Demon's Souls.
You can play it on the PS4
and
now.
Destruction All-Stars when it comes free on Plus.
Yeah.
I mean, that saved that game, dude.
Yeah.
I would not have played that game if it wasn't free on Plus. And then Bugsnax, apparently.
I was going to bring that up, and I keep forgetting. I'm
Astro's Playroom.
I'm super intrigued by Bugsnax.
I don't get the hype with that game. I think people
liked
it as a joke.
I played Octodad, so I was familiar with the
Another thing. I don't know.
I was like, oh, this looks... It was like... I've been watching a lot of Toy Story lately with my daughter, and
yes, you have.
It was very Pixar-ish, and I was like, this just looks fun. This just looks like something fun. I want to play something fun. And that game apparently is not what I expected at all. It's way more like Pokemon Snap, apparently.
Bugsnax,
That's a selling point. Isn't that this year? Didn't they say Pokemon Snap was
supposed to be?
Maybe I'm wrong.
Maybe
I would have heard something, right?
God, I forgot about that game. Yeah. I'm so excited.
Yeah, but this apparently has some Bugsnax. I'm sorry, some Pokemon Snap in there, and I'm like, okay,
the Bugsnax game has Bugsnax.
Wow. No, it has Pokemon Snap elements, and I'm good for that.
Okay,
and it's got a good voice cast.
I mean, it's free.
Mm-hmm.
With Plus, which is free.
I'm all in on that. I want to play that. I will play Bugsnax.
Okay.
And the amount of times in my head, and it only happens when I wash my hands for some reason. I weirdly go, it's Bugsnax in my head.
When you wash your hands.
When I wash my hands, I don't know. I'm really bored. You gotta watch them 20 seconds. You gotta do that a while.
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
what other you could play Miles Morales now.
I know, but am I gonna want to play it again once I got that shiny new PS5? I mean, I probably will, but I don't know.
You don't need.
Oh well, you know why? Because I want Spider-Man Remastered. Did I need to buy the?
No, you
the
don't.
Stupid.
Yes, why do you need that? You already beat it.
I want to see his beautiful face, his new one.
No, I don't like it. But it's not. It's whatever. But
Tom Holland looking.
Just watch Uncharted.
What's that singer? Everyone said Shawn Mendes looking. Yeah, hybrid. I don't know.
Okay, you played Miles Morales.
Demon's Souls will keep me very busy.
Okay, and then Far Cry, even though that got delayed.
Far Cry. I am interested in that one. I've skipped a couple of generations of Far Cry, so.
Have you?
Last one I played was Primal.
So
I didn't play 5. I didn't play the one with the 2 chicks. And then wasn't there something else? There wasn't like a it was deals like Tiger's Blood or something.
I don't know.
Some DLC.
I haven't played since 4.
Whatever.
I've skipped some Far Cry.
There's gonna be other stuff in between that I'll play, and Plus will always keep me updated with new games. I still got a backlog of games I gotta play. I'll play Your Shadow. By the time I get to it, probably on PS5, and it'll be loading better.
You should
and then
throw that in before you. If you are gonna get one, you should make that a little like bucket list. Like, see what I perceived as the future of last gen with that Nemesis system.
Oh, I meant Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
Oh.
Not Shadow of Mordor.
The problem is that that's a very generic term to throw at a video
you're right,
game.
You're right.
Yeah, oh yeah, do that. That was your birthday present.
I know. I gotta get to it.
Okay.
But anyways, so yeah, PS5 is what I'm going for.
I mean, that was not in any doubt.
Right.
For me.
There's someone out there like, what?
What would Microsoft have to do to...
Right now, Microsoft has, I think, the more appealing value and the better console. For the most part. With a couple exceptions. I just don't care about their first party games. PlayStation's got all that. Like that's what I'm used to. They do it the best. I mean, there's no doubt in anyone's mind that they're just the best at it. I mean, you're not gonna have. There's no studio on Xbox's side that is to the caliber of a Naughty Dog. Like there isn't, and those are my favorite games. Uncharted's, Last of Us, all of them. They're all great, and I'm not gonna find that on Xbox. Ghost of Tsushima isn't on Xbox. Resistance
you weirdly
isn't on
into
Xbox.
Hellblade.
I did not like Hellblade. What are you talking about?
You've brought up Hellblade, like...
I was really interested in it. Like I was telling you, I was watching all those like developer diaries that would like come like, hey, we're really early in the game. Here's our process. And I'd be like following, and like every month or every couple months when they release one, I would be like, oh yeah, all right, cool. And then the game came out, and I didn't like it that much.
You went back at it like a year and a half later.
Well, because I'm like, I was just, I needed to find something to play. So let me just beat it.
You have a lot to play.
Yeah.
And you chose that.
Yeah, well, because I'm like, let me just beat it, because I know the second one's coming out, and then I was thinking about that podcast we were gonna eventually do with the All Stars or whatever, and yeah, I'm like, let me just beat it, and it turns out I was right there. It took me like an hour and a half, and I was done. So, yeah,
they've definitely got. I mean,
they just have more games that speak to me ultimately, but I mean, there's no denying that Game Pass. I mean, that is what a deal. I mean, I don't know. They don't have the games I want.
I don't need to buy whatever Life is Strange people are doing, technically.
Well, I'd love to support them, so whatever. If you don't want to, that's
they
fine.
get a cut.
Not as much. I was on the PlayStation
They get
side.
a cut. They the same.
You still haven't played Life is Strange too, huh?
No. Get on it. Stupid Chloe.
Oh, my bad. Chloe? Life is Strange 2.
I know, but I didn't like her.
Or is she? Yeah, we'll see.
I still gotta play that prequel about her. That Latino podcast we did.
Yeah.
Means I probably should play that.
Yes.
Life is Strange 2.
Last of Us Strange 2.
Shadow of Tomb War.
Yeah. Do it. It's a good game.
They're buying studios.
Fantastic.
There's always the Sega rumors, weirdly.
I'd love to see the choices you make. Compare those trophies, you like to.
I want a reason to... It's going to take forever. But I want to... For some reason, I'm thinking that new Yakuza is an Xbox piece that's superior on there for some reason. I don't know. I think because Yakuza 2 recently came out on Game Pass, and I've been meaning to play that. Maybe that's where my brain is going. Maybe it's
exclusive or timed or something.
I want to... I really want to play that RPG Yakuza.
Yakuza 0?
Yakuza 7. But I've still got to play 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6.
You're going to be on that a while.
Yeah.
Well, by the time you finish them, then you'll know it's time to upgrade
your
console.
But if 2's on Game Pass, I'm just trying to get through the backlog before I pay for Game Pass again. I'll play that there. And then 3, 4, and 5 go on sale, weirdly enough, on PSN. Because they did like the re-releases of those. and 6 will be cheap by then, and then go to 7. Those games are long, but they are. I think you'd enjoy. You watched Attack on Titan in Japanese, so imagine just like deep mafia and kind of.
I don't even like mafias in English,
but it's Yakuza. It's the Yakuza. It's not the mafia.
I don't like them.
Have you like seen any of the Yakuza?
Yeah, it looks terrible.
Really?
Each time I look at it, I'm like, I do not want to play this. It's just not my type of game.
Some of that when they do like the real cutscenes, like not the like funny ones, like some of that acting's just very passionate, very believable.
I'm sure it is. I mean, it's like that way in anime too.
This is better than anime.
Yeah,
but then you get like the weird nonsense going on. Anyway, we're talking about Yakuza now.
This is not the
right podcast.
This could probably all be cut out because it's like way off subject.
Okay. But I still am undecided. We talked about how I might come to a conclusion.
And you have not hit a conclusion.
I've not hit a conclusion.
Sounds like you're leaning more towards Xbox, which is the wrong choice. But I understand. I understand where you're coming from. You're taking advantage of my generosity. And it makes sense. If it was the other way around, I'd probably do the same thing.
Especially because you're going to buy Miles Morales.
Of course.
I could just borrow it. Yeah. And I hear so much good about that.
Yeah. Can't wait.
Guess what? You don't have to wait. You can play it now.
No. I'm gonna make sure I have a reason to buy a PS5, and that's gonna be Miles Morales with Spider-Man Remastered.
Listen, just get. I don't know why you're waiting.
I'm gonna do it.
I
got really close to a spoiler already, which I don't like.
Listen, I
already knew the Tinkerer was blank, and then I thankfully I didn't read what the blank was. I was like, oh Jesus.
Well, you are gonna play Spider-Man over. You can play Miles Morales over later.
Yeah, I guess it is shorter.
What are you gonna play?
I'll just save my
Demon
money.
Souls and Astro's Playroom.
The other one, what'd I say?
You didn't even know.
Destruction All Stars.
And then when it's free on Plus,
in my backlog, I'm gonna not eventually. What is it called?
You can play that backlog.
Apparently,
right now.
I'm gonna be playing Mortal Kombat with you for the first time in a billion years. That Melina DLC.
I hate being a Melina fan, almost because I believe the fan base is pretty toxic about her. So.
Oh yeah, I see what you mean. I'm like, no, people love her. I'm like, I see what you mean. Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, I would say we've reached the end of this educated discussion. Yeah. I tell you what, though, when Xbox or Microsoft buys the Resistance brand, you'll be on team.
Don't do that to me. Don't do that to me.
You're the only person that would be swayed by Resistance.
No, man. Me and Colin Moriarty.
Okay. Well, everybody, thank you so much for listening to our educated discussion on the new console releases.
Yeah, sorry it's been a while since our last one for the few that are keeping up, but we'll see what we can do.
Teaching is hard these days, man. My bosses, if they're listening right now, which they're not, calm down. This is not the year to freak out about everything. Mm-hmm. These kids, they're just happy to be back in school. And it's annoying to have to tell them to wear a mask because you clearly didn't. No one educated them on the importance of masks. And so I have to just be the jerk who says, put it on.
Yeah.
I've started showing videos
how to put on a mask.
About like why it's important.
Okay.
And some are just like, well, they don't work. People are still getting COVID. I'm like,
that's a whole nother thing.
That's what I'm dealing with at the high school level. Anyway, thank you so much for listening, everybody.
Yeah, thank you.
Keep it educated out there. But before we get into that, this podcast is brought to you by no ads, but yours could be here. Anyway,
that's not gonna happen.
No, that's not going to happen. All right.